Virginia deputy killed during welfare check, suspect arrested, using game camera and drone. A man has been arrested in North Carolina in connection with the fatal shooting of a Virginia sheriff's deputy during a welfare check. Authorities say the suspect was located using a wildlife game camera and a drone as the manhunt unfolded across rural terrain. According to reporting, the suspect, identified as Michael Puckett, was arrested in Surry County, North Carolina, 2 days after the shooting that killed Deputy Logan Utt in Carroll County, Virginia. Authorities say Puckett was located with the help of a game camera and drone and was found carrying a gun when taken into custody. The case began as something routine, a welfare check. Those calls are common and often low profile, but they can become high risk in seconds if the subject is armed, unstable, or determined to resist contact. Investigators say 2 deputies were shot during the initial encounter. Deputy Utt, a 31-year-old military veteran and former firefighter, was killed. The second deputy survived due to a ballistic vest. When a law enforcement officer is killed in the line of duty, investigations escalate immediately into multi-agency operations. The objective becomes twofold: public safety and capture. Locate the suspect before additional harm occurs. Case integrity. Preserve evidence for prosecution, including weapon recovery, timeline, and intent. In rural terrain, the capture problem is harder. There are fewer cameras, roads are more open, and wooded areas provide cover. That's why tools like wildlife game cameras can make a major difference. These cameras are designed to detect motion and capture clear images in low light. When positioned along trails or likely movement corridors, they can show whether a suspect has passed through. Drones add another layer. Drones can cover terrain quickly, view areas that are inaccessible by vehicle, and identify heat signatures or movement patterns. Combined with ground teams, drones help reduce the time it takes to locate a suspect. Why do drones and game cameras matter in a manhunt?
Because rural terrain has blind spots, these tools fill the gaps and shorten search time.
Authorities say Puckett was taken into custody without bond. Reporting also notes he waived his right to a court-appointed lawyer during his extradition hearing and awaits transport back to Virginia. The legal process now becomes the next phase. Investigators will build the prosecution case around the initial welfare check and what prompted it, the sequence of contact and gunfire, the weapons used and any forensic linkage, statements made after arrest, if any, evidence recovered during the manhunt. One of the most significant facts in the report is that the second deputy survived because of a ballistic vest. That underscores how quickly lethal circumstances can unfold in routine calls and how personal protective equipment can be the difference between life and death. The emotional weight of these cases is also profound. Officer deaths produce community mourning, processions, memorial services, and family support operations. The report notes a law enforcement procession honoring Deputy Utt as his remains were transported. These moments are not only symbolic, they reflect a community response to loss and a public acknowledgement of duty. Now that the suspect is in custody, attention will turn to the evidence, the charges, and whether investigators believe there were warning signs or prior risks leading into the welfare check. In the broader context, this case highlights a modern reality. Policing now includes both street-level response and technology-supported operations. Drones and cameras don't replace investigative work, but they can compress the time it takes to locate a suspect, especially in terrain where traditional tools fall short. Extradition completion and Virginia court filings, formal charges and prosecutorial statements on intent. Any disclosed details about what led to the welfare check and the suspect's background. A Virginia deputy was killed during a welfare check, and authorities say the suspect was arrested in North Carolina using a game camera and drone-assisted search. The case now shifts from manhunt to prosecution.